Who is this Bukele guy? He's 43 years old. He claims he's the youngest dictator in the world. He calls himself the world's coolest dictator. He likes to wear aviator sunglasses. He likes to produce rap videos of prisoners being tortured. In 2019, he was elected to the presidency based on a promise to end gang violence and corruption. And he did. The homicides dropped from 103 per 100,000 down to 2.4. That was in 2015, to a record low of 2.4 per 100,000 in 2023. So he has an 80% approval rating for doing that across the country of El Salvador. But the miracle came at a staggering cost. He didn't eradicate crime through, solving problems that fester crime, like poverty. He eradicated crime by dismantling democracy. This is from a piece by Dean Blundell over at Substack. He scrapped due process. He instilled paralyzing fear in El Salvador's 6.3 million people. He's a textbook authoritarian. I mean, this is just amazing stuff. This is the guy that Donald Trump was slobbering all over yesterday in the White House. Since declaring a state of emergency in March, or the day before yesterday, in March of 2022, Bukele has arrested over 85,000 people, roughly 1.6% of the population of his country, often without warrants or evidence. Human Rights Watch reports only 1,000 convictions, meaning tens of thousands of innocent people are languishing in prison. At least 261 have died in custody, with credible reports of torture, beatings, and medical neglect. The Center for Confinement of Terrorism, CCOT, this is where these Americans are being held, is not a rehabilitation facility. It's a pay-for-play concentration camp where prisoners, including U.S. deportees, are disappeared into a judicial black hole, writes Dean Blundell. CCOT opened in 2023. It's a mega prison for 40,000 inmates. Cells lack windows, ventilation, or mattresses. Prisoners sleep on bare metal and eat twice daily and endure 23.5-hour lockdowns with only 30 minutes of exercise in windowless corridors. Human rights groups document systematic torture, scabies, starvation, beatings are rampant. Crystal Sol, a Salvadoran non-governmental organization, reports 367 deaths across the prison system, with families denied information about their loved ones. Bukele's propaganda, he writes, glorifies this cruelty. He posts slick videos of shackled inmates, heads bowed, escorted by armed guards to a pulsating soundtrack, images straight out of a dystopian thriller. He took 261 U.S. deportees last month. CBS News looked into them. They found 75% of these deportees had no criminal record. They committed no crime. And yet they are now trapped in this brutal concentration camp. And, the definition, according to the U.S. Holocaust Museum, of a concentration camp is a prison beyond the rule of law, a place where people are imprisoned without due process of law. And that's exactly what he is running. He is running a concentration camp, and we are sending people to it. Dean Blundell writes, like Stalin's labor camps, CCOT uses prisoners for forced labor to sustain itself, with Bukele boasting it's financially self-sufficient. He puts some of them to work. He says, like Mussolini, he projects strength through militarized displays, replacing judges with loyalists. In 2021, his party ousted the Supreme Court justices and the Attorney General and installed his loyalists. He's jailed critics, including his former security advisor, who died in custody in February of last year, allegedly after being tortured. Politicians, judges, and journalists face ruthless and relentless intimidation. Over 50 officials and critics have fled the country. In 2020, he sent troops into the legislature to strong-arm approval of a piece of legislation that he wanted. His state of emergency suspends fundamental rights, no warrants, no lawyers, no contact with families. Amnesty International reports forced disappearances. Women face sexual violence in custody, and families of detainees are threatened with arrest for protesting. He's also targeted minorities with reports of arbitrary arrests of queer individuals. In 2021, he fired all the judges over 60, affecting 200 magistrates, a third, 33% of the judiciary. His new judges rubber stamp his policies like a mass trial of 900 people at once. Yeah, that's due process for you. His political opponents face trumped-up charges, while business leaders are squeezed for money and loyalty. This is a country that has a 30% poverty rate, which has not improved since he became president. Instead, they have the highest incarceration rate in the world. Keep in mind that the United States is around 700 per 100,000, as I recall, 650, something like that. We are the highest in the developed world. He is at 1,600 per 100,000 people. He's got 109,000 people behind bars in this little tiny country. Fear permeates societies. Dissenters risk arrest. Families of the detained lived in dread. Meanwhile, his wealth grows. He now has 34 homes, 34 properties that he has acquired during his term. And this is what strong men do. They enrich themselves. Donald Trump Jr. and Matt Gaetz fawn over him. Donald Trump Jr. attended his inauguration. I'm telling you, this is Trump's role model. This is what Trump wants. He wants to be a dictator. And frankly, he is becoming one. He is doing it right now, right in front of us.